Hey everybody, and welcome back to the shed. So on this little episode here, EcoWorthy has sent me another battery. Again, even though I get the battery for free, just like any other product that I've tested for them, they want me to be honest, and I'm not gonna, let up on that. And if something's failing within the product itself, I'm going to let them know, and I'm going to put it out there in the video, and then we'll wait for corrections, because that's what it's all about. They want to have a good product, and I'm happy about that. Right. So today they want me to test a little battery. It is a 20 amp battery, 12.8 volts in like your basic box there. And it's got like some your typical setup with EcoWorthy batteries. It's got your little owner's manual, and of course a couple of your little lugs there. Okay, so there it is. We got the 12.8 volt 20 amp hour battery. Looks like it's packed really well, and 20 amps is probably a little bit what do we got going on there? It looks like a little charge port or a thermal jack or something like that. We'll check that out in the owner's manual. And looks like a little durable one. Now for a trolling motor, I don't know, 20 amp hours isn't going to get you far, but I think it's got a lot of cool attributes, including small van situations, small canopy or capper situations in your truck, motorcycle situations for motorcycle trekkers and stuff like that. So get an idea what the label looks like. Well, let's go ahead and get into it. First thing we're going to do is I'm actually just going to discharge the whole thing, and we'll take a voltage reading here in a second, see where the voltage is at, see what, approximate capacity they shipped it at. And then we're going to drain the whole thing, give it a jump start, and then we're going to charge it back up, and then we're going to drain it all again, and we're going to see how many amp hours it actually holds. And after that, we're going to go ahead and go through, and we're going to do a variety of other tests. I'm going to try to do a temperature test on this one with both the cold and the hot, if it has that attribute actually. And a short circuit test, of course. I think that's one of the most important ones, to make sure that that's working properly. And just give it a run, man. Test it out on some products or some appliances, utilities, whatever we're going to use there that are within the norms of this battery. Okay, well, let's get at it, guys, girls, people. Okay, so let's go ahead and check the voltage with the Bluetooth here. Got the EcoWorthy app. Oh, that's the controller. Then I've got two different batteries. Let's add a battery. Add device. Okay, there it is right there. Not a bad idea to label things. So they're saying they shipped it at 24% capacity, 13.05 volts. So, I mean, they want it low like that, somewhere around 50% or less, I believe, 30 to 50 for shipping, and remaining capacity 4.86. So what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and get a load on it and get this ball rolling. Okay, so I've got the battery connected to my load tester, and you can see that I've got a cutoff of about 10.8 volts, and I'm running a continuous, well, I set it for 10 amps, but it's 9.98. We'll call that good. And right now we're just going to run her down until she bottoms out, and we'll have to jump start it, and up we go. And on we go. Okay, so basically we're going to do a load test now. We've got it fully charged after a discharge, and it looks like it charged up to 19.96 amp hours, which is essentially 20 amp hours as advertised. So what we're going to do on the load test, though, is I set it up for you can see the off time there. It's like 13,800 seconds. That's basically 3 hours and 3 hours and 50 minutes, and we're actually going to adjust this to, let's go enter. We're going to come on over here. We're going to up it to 5 and go enter. So that should be, I mean, pretty close to being the end, but not running over. So let's go ahead and just give it a shot. Get her turned on there. And she's doing the countdown. All right, guys, we'll come back and check it. Okay, guys, so there was a load test, and I'll be frank with you, I had screenshots and video and stuff like that regarding this 20 amp little battery. But there was a foul up with something in my Google account, and even though everything was backed up, I guess that doesn't mean much with Google. I lost a lot of stuff. I lost a lot of data and a lot of footage. That's life, I suppose. I don't know how else to look at it. So, but I still have the battery, which is what really matters. And I may do another load test just to get the, a better reference of data for you. But it does hold the full 20 amp hours, or like 19.96 or something like that. I forget now. The interesting thing about this, though, it does have like this little charging port right here. I don't really have an adapter for that. I've got tons of adapters that can plug in to different things, but I think for your standard American, or I don't know about Europe. I live in Western United States, and typically a USB port or something of that nature might be a little bit better than what they have going on here. It's like a little 9-volt pin receptacle thing, but I probably could come up with something, but it might be a little bit easier just to have a port there that you have other things to, like a USB-C or USB-A or just whatever you have, right? Not a big deal, though. It's not a deal breaker. I think it's a good little battery. Now, the other thing I'd like to see on this is just some sort of a little voltage meter, like little LED that just says, like, hey, we got 12.8 volts left in this thing, and that way you can kind of keep an eye on it. Now, I know that they talk about in the ad, their marketing is like trolling. I would not use this for a trolling motor. It's just not big enough, man. You'll find yourself paddling back is what'll happen. But I think it'd be good for things like a little camper or a Jeep or something that you're just trying to like keep everything super lightweight, like a capper on the back of your truck. You just need a little bit of light back there when you're out there deer hunting or something like that, or fishing, whatever. It's just a good little backup battery for stuff like that. Also good for charging up different utilities around the house. I mean, I could charge up some batteries with this thing, like my AA's. I've got all sorts of AA's and AAA's and stuff like that that are all rechargeable, and this would do a great job with that. And you can hook it up to like a small solar panel even. I don't know if I posted that video or not, but I have like some smaller eco-worthy panels, and I have like this, back here, I got like this little 20 amp controller. You'll see a video on it. It's decent, it charges, it works. So I would think like a decent panel or two, and on top of your capper for your truck or your canopy, whatever you want to call it, and then this little battery, you'd probably, get through a night here and there just running a light bulb for a while or whatever. You're not going to run any like kitchen utensils, like a induction burner or anything like that. It's just not going to happen. Well, it could happen, but it ain't going to happen for very long. But all in all, let's do this. Look. Let's take it apart, see what the inside looks like, okay? Might be kind of fun. Okay, so looks like it's just got like 4 screws to pop off, so we'll just take this little, this is actually a pretty good little screwdriver, Amazon Basics. It was like 40 bucks, for what it is. It works pretty well. I've got other screw guns, of course, and impact drivers and stuff like that, but they're just freaking big, and for handling little stuff like this, it's great. And then I've got another kit too that's really good for like electronics and stuff, but stuff like this, can't beat it. Pop those off now. And it was a lot cheaper than like the Bosch, and I think like Makita's got one, and DeWalt, everybody's got one, but that was definitely, I don't know if it's any better than the other ones. I haven't tried it. So here we go. We got the inside of the battery. We got our battery management system right here, our BMS. And take a look around here. So a couple of terminals there. And then of course the terminals leading over to the charge dock, charging port. let's take a look here, see what we got. Oh, screws are finally coming out. Thank you. Those we don't lose them. There we go. Get going. A little bit of a foam block in there just to keep the battery from bouncing, I suppose, or the battery cells. So, pretty straightforward. I can't think of what cell. They're not 8160s or whatever they're called. 58160s, whatever that. I forget now off the top of my head. But they're definitely cylindrical batteries, and they've got a little case right here. I wonder, is that just like, it looks to me like it's just in there by friction, actually. So I think a guy could probably just pull that out. Let's pause and check it out. Okay, so it definitely was just held in by friction, and then that little pad that was on top of the battery pack itself, or you know, the cells, just kind of held in there by the lid and everything. Wouldn't be a bad idea if it had a little bit more. I mean, they're kind of advertising this as, you know, like a small rugged battery, and in its own right it is, but I don't think I would trust it for the big, you know, I wouldn't roll it down a hill, I'll put it that way. So we got a little channel there. I don't know how waterproof this thing would really be. I mean, it's not really like, we got a little bit of like a tongue and groove situation here that would help. You know, you can see like the groove right there, and then the tongue right there on that one. But around the edges, it's just butting up to each other, and I don't think it's really like, I wouldn't consider it to be water resistant too much. Maybe a lower rating, like an IP50 or something. I don't know. I don't know the ratings on that stuff. We'll have to look it up. But you can see it's got some pretty decent cells in there. Spot welded bus bars, and then kind of just got the voltage terminals screwed on there. This does have Bluetooth, and that's in there with your BMS. So you can kind of track what's going on, but there's not like a thermistor, anything like that I can see in here. So it doesn't have a hot or cold cutoff. You just have to be mindful of that. But I mean, for what it is, it's a good battery. Look at my hair. Saving for cancer, not me. Just volunteer, cut my hair when it gets long type of thing. But a pretty decent little battery. I'm going to find some good uses for it in small situations, maybe running some string lighting underneath a pergola or something like that with a small solar panel and a charger. It may do really well in a situation like that. Just a low voltage, you know, like small LED string light thing. It may really pay off in that type of area. Or in the capper for the truck. If I ever get a cab over for the truck, it would definitely be good in that situation to a point. You know, you get those cab overs and whatnot, and you know, it's like you're looking at small kitchenettes and stuff, and a little battery like this won't keep up, but you could use it for other things like keeping a lantern going and whatnot. So let's go ahead and get the battery back together and see if I can't dig up some specs. Now listen, I don't know if I can find any specs or not. I am going to run a load test, and I may upload this video before I get the load test done just to verify some numbers for you guys. But it is, as far as like, you know, rapid alternating currents and stuff, it does what it's supposed to do, and it does what it's been advertised to do. The amp hours are correct in it with load tests and whatnot. So, you know, if you're looking for a small, inexpensive battery that I feel is reliable, I've had really good luck with the eco-worthy products, and I've been using them for several years now, before most people were using them, actually. I was using them, faded away from Renogy, and went right into eco-worthy and never really turned back. I've tried out some other stuff that's equal to some of the other stuff I'm trying. Definitely, if you're looking at Renogy versus eco-worthy, go with eco-worthy. 100%. I do not recommend Renogy. I've gone through a ton of their stuff. The only good thing they have is, I believe it's a 48 watt or 48 volt all-in-one charger controller. It's like 3,500 watts or something like that. And that's actually an SRNE rebrand. That's actually a good controller. The rest of their stuff, I'm not pleased with. I'll never go back to them. So anyways, you guys, Solar Bear out. I want you all to take care of yourself. I got more videos coming up soon. We're going to be making some good educational videos also regarding, how photons affect panels, how that gets converted to energy, and how that gets through the wires to your controller, how the controller's working to charge the batteries. We got a slew of stuff coming up in the future. I'm almost done with the new shed, or as I call it, the lab. Is coming right along. I've got some grow watts that are coming in. Videos up on those soon. I was stringing some stuff together and getting ready to hook them up, and I changed the plan on what I wanted to do. So we're kind of not back to the drawing board. I'm just starting over with something different for it. Now, not too different. We're just going to change it up a little bit. I'll explain why in that video. So Solar Bear out. You guys take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.